Hello, this is Dr. Flight. It's great to be touching base with you. And this short lecture is focused on for-profit firms and how specifically how they get involved with nonprofits or causes in order to perform their cause-related marketing programs and efforts within the firm. Okay, so there are lots of different ways for-profits can engage in and develop an exchange with nonprofits, and so this intersect and this talk really feels like it's more of a program that's being developed, and it really speaks to how that program actually plays out in the activities that the for-profit does. So if you have any questions, please feel free to touch base and let me know, reach out to me in terms of what you're thinking. Otherwise, this is then ways for-profit firms approach cause-related marketing efforts. All right, we're going to begin today's lecture here with just a simple recall to the definition of cause marketing and what we've thought that cause marketing would be in terms of an intersect between the for-profit brand or a firm and a not-for-profit or cause that the firm wanted to be involved with. So it's the alignment then of the for-profit brand with a cause in order to unlock brand value. Now, moving forward as we walk through this, what we want to do is take a look at a number of different ways this is actually accomplished. So how, in fact, do firms interact with causes and with nonprofit organizations in order to leverage what they want to use as a cause marketing program? All right, so there are going to be several of these different intersects and ways that this actually plays out. But first, though, let's talk a little bit about the benefits that a nonprofit sponsorship or nonprofit interaction has for firms, for the nonprofits themselves, and then also for customers as well. So in other words, why would firms want to be involved with nonprofits and causes? What benefits do they have from these cause-related marketing efforts? So different benefits exist. So first, foremost, goodwill, positive public sentiment is something that emerges from a relationship that the firm has with a nonprofit. So people, the general public, like in a PR sense, feel good about the nonprofit or feel good about the firm that's supporting the nonprofit. The efforts to build this type of brand awareness and equity builds and establishes trust and authenticity within the marketplace. It also builds awareness for the brand. It also deepens engagement with current customers and increases the loyalty of the brand. And then finally, it lets the firm also extend its brand into new and diverse markets. So it gives the brand an opportunity to maybe reach new markets that it wouldn't normally reach. It also, when the brand wants to go into a new market and use what's called a market development growth strategy, it helps them do that better. So there are lots of benefits then to the firm in terms of why they would want to engage in this type of activity. Next, we take a look at benefits for the nonprofit. So again, we're looking at times when nonprofit firms and for-profit firms join together to maybe jointly or co-brand or do some joint projects. Number one, the not-for-profit awareness level within the marketplace is accentuated. It gets built up, so that's a good thing. It allows the not-for-profit to be a presence in new markets. So think about if a for-profit firm has a market that it promotes the nonprofit in, the nonprofit then has access to the for-profit's marketplace. So that's a good thing for them. And then finally, it creates money. it brings in money, it brings in revenue for nonprofits. Okay, so absolutely, that's a good thing. Finally, we'll mention a couple things that the benefits the customer, because that's a key element too. Firms benefit, nonprofits benefit, and then also the customer finally benefits too, as a result of cause-related marketing. One, it allows a customer to participate in solving a social issue or social problem. It gives them a sense of empowerment to do so. It gives them access and the avenue or the track to be able to contribute to solving a social ill or social problem. It also finally gives individual consumers a sense of pride or joy or self-worth. Makes them feel good for participating. So anytime you can associate good feelings with your brand, that's a good thing. So customers will form this association between the kind of the positive feelings they have with doing good socially with the brand that they're buying, and then that would be a good thing. So yeah, that's kind of where we're going. Dawn soap detergent is a good example of this. Dawn detergent is used to help clean animals after oil spills, like at the beach. And so they use that pretty heavily in terms of their positioning, where if you buy Dawn dish detergent for your home dishes, then a portion of your money and proceeds kind of goes to support the work that Dawn does in providing a solution for marine life rescue. As such, the purchasers, the consumers of Dawn, ultimately feel good about the benefits that are being done by Dawn overall. So they feel as part of the solution, and they feel like this is a good thing to be able to do. All right, so let's talk about different approaches to cause marketing, and specifically different ways sponsors or firms become integrated into nonprofit organizations. The first one here will be the sponsorship licensing or co-branding of their for-profit organization with a nonprofit organization. So what you want to do in this case is you actually want to be a title sponsor or be a financial supporter of a nonprofit organization in order to help that nonprofit succeed. So you're attaching your brand to the brand name of the nonprofit, and you're linking yourselves together by some type of a financial donation or contribution or something along those lines. So some examples may be a local manufacturer who sponsors the local high school athletic program, and in part maybe they have signage and a visible display at the high school's athletic facilities. A regional security alarm company may also sponsor the U.S., like as an example, USTA, the U.S. Tennis Association's championship, so they'll have title sponsor of that. A national car manufacturer may promote a Mother Against Drunk Driving awareness campaign, something like that. And then finally, an international pharmaceutical company may collaborate with the organization Doctors Without Borders, maybe to immunize a community. So sure, those are all ways that firms can sponsor, license, or co-brand with a nonprofit in order to provide a social benefit. So yeah, number two, transactional elements. In a transactional element, a firm would support a cause or a nonprofit by providing a portion of their sales that tied directly to the nonprofit. So for every unit sold, they'll donate a certain dollar amount or a certain proportion or percentage of sales. So if you buy a candy bar, we'll donate 50 cents to a child obesity program or something like that. I know those are kind of contradictory, but that's the point. This approach actually protects the firm in terms of how much they will be donating, because the donations are coming directly from the profit or revenue that they're receiving from the product sold. So this would be a percentage of revenue that's being generated on each unit sold. Obviously, this method cuts into the for-profit's profit margin, so they're not able to use as much profit or revenue to pay for company expenses. And that is actually viewed as an expense or a cost that the firm would be willing to incur because their profit margin would be diminished. So in this sense, it's like it's like a promotion. It actually stimulates sales, but there is a cost associated with it. All right, so that would be a transactional donation of some type. Another type of donation is a group of donations called fundraising in general, where the for-profit firm makes a direct plea to their market base for donations in order to support the cause or nonprofit. So an example of this may be a retailer who solicits donations at the cash register, and then upon making a donation, the customer gets their name placed up on the wall. This is sometimes called a sticker or a pinup promotion, but there's a direct donation being made from the consumer who is the purchaser of the product directly to the nonprofit who's involved. All right, another step, so number 4 here, another opportunity would be another group of activities that are associated with donating product. So let's say that the nonprofit could benefit from a for-profit's product or service, and so the for-profit is willing to donate some of their product or service to the nonprofit in order for them to use it. So it's like an in-kind donation. So making a donation of product would then benefit the nonprofit, because then the nonprofit would not have to pay for some pieces and things that they might need in order to do their business. So here's the example: a television station may offer a nonprofit free airtime so that they could run an advertisement, and so then the nonprofit would benefit because there's free airtime that they would otherwise pay for, but now they don't have to, and now they can promote their brand by using what this television station is offering them. Another element that this might include would be something called action facilitation, where a firm donates product or services directly to an individual who makes donations. So let's say if there's an individual consumer who makes a donation to the Red Cross or to a nonprofit, then a for-profit company may donate product in order for that consumer to benefit. So it's like an incentive being given to a benefit. They're donating product to a consumer who in turn is making a financial distribution or donation to a company. Another variation, so that's one other variation of this product donation concept. A second variation is the one-for-one idea, where a for-profit firm will donate product when one of their products is purchased. So the best illustration, or a common illustration of this, would be Tom's Shoes. Tom's policy is that they donate 1 unit of product for every unit of product purchased. So they'll if you buy a pair of Tom's shoes, they will duplicate a pair of shoes and donate those to a person in need. Okay, so that's a one-for-one incentive program that helps generate funds or generate product donations for a not-for-profit or for a cause. So a very effective way to it induces individuals to participate with the brand, but also participate with the nonprofit at the same time. All right, number 5. So there are going to be 8 or so of these approaches or ways that firms can get involved with nonprofits, and then the way they do with cause marketing efforts. Number 5 is a donation matching effort. So this would be tied probably into a fundraising element where if a consumer makes a donation to the nonprofit, then the for-profit will match that donation up to a certain dollar amount. So again, this incents consumers to motivate and to behave because for every donation that's made by a consumer, the donation is in essence doubled. If a donation matching program is in place and the for-profit matches donations made by consumers. Number 6, awareness driving. Okay, so here's a case where for-profit firms often have a lot of business operations that are in place that could drive awareness for themselves, of course. But then what they do is they piggyback and they tie into their awareness campaign the not-for-profit or the cause that they're looking to kind of enhance and help. Like, here's an example. Consider if you have a firm who sends out monthly bills or monthly communications or some type of awareness effort building with their market. So an insurance company sends out a monthly bill to their customers, and within that bill, a mailing, within that mailing, they include a flyer that highlights a nonprofit. Well, they're already sending the mailing out. It's already part of their communication effort with the customer. So they're building onto that, what they're already doing, in order to build awareness for the nonprofit. And so that could be actually used in a lot of different scenarios where you use marketing efforts to build awareness that you already have in place. All right, so number 7. This is a broader kind of involvement level. So there's an idea that an organization could be purpose-driven. So in other words, the purpose of the organization may be profit oriented, but also the purpose of the organization, the for-profit, might be maybe to attain some type of social goal. And if it's a socially goal-driven organization, then they may be what we call a brand activist, or using brand activism, in other words, to leverage their brand in order to support a broader cause, or a broader social issue. So purpose-driven organizations and brand activism is more at the broader level of the organization. It's like a philosophy or a way to do business that says, our mission of the organization is to earn money, but our mission is also to fulfill some greater good. Okay, so this number 7 is a little more abstract, but it's a kind of a mindset, I guess, that the organization would have towards a cause that means something to them. Okay, and then finally, number 8, the 8th way that firms get involved with causes in terms of this cause marketing approach, like the last tool, I guess, if you will, would be to elicit distribution services. And so this can happen actually in a lot of different ways, but what we're generally talking about here is when a nonprofit places its product or services inside a for-profit or within a for-profit's distribution channel. All right, so for-profit firms could provide retail space, for instance, for distribution for nonprofits to place their products in, and then that nonprofit would have access to the retail space that the for-profit has, and more importantly, access to their market. Right, so PetSmart, a chain of pet supply stores, does not handle pet adoptions directly, but instead they offer in-store space for local rescue shelters to use as adoption locations. So it's not that PetSmart doesn't want to do public good in terms of rescue animals and things like that, but there's a lot of risk and liability in that area, and it's not something that they really want to do. They want to retail, they want to do pet grooming and things like that. They really don't want to get involved in the direct adoption of animals. So what they do is they provide space so a local rescue organization can use that space, could be a center for them to be able to handle adoption situations. So it's like the for-profit organization is using some portion of their distribution schema to provide a benefit for or an access point to the public for the nonprofit. Okay, and again, so that's another great way to leverage kind of what the firm does from a business perspective into their nonprofit or their cause marketing program. All right, so we covered a lot. This video talked to begin with this idea of what the benefits are for for participating in cause-related marketing from the firm's perspective, from the nonprofit's perspective, and then also from the customer's perspective. And then there were a series of approaches or ways cause marketing actually plays out between the firm and nonprofit and causes. So sponsorships, transaction-based donations, fundraising, awareness driving activities, donation matching, product donations, and that's silly, those were all out of order, but that's okay, they're in order now. Purpose-driven brand activism, and then finally distribution services. Okay, so be aware of the benefits that are afforded these three folks here, the firm, the nonprofit organization, and the customer. All right, and then also be able to give examples of each of these 8 different types of intersects or ways in which the for-profit gets involved and actually executes the cause-related marketing program or cause marketing, social marketing program that they're engaged in. Okay, so those are the two major things out of this talk that you want to take away. Again, examples of these approaches, these 8 different approaches, and then the benefits that firms, nonprofits, and customers receive. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to touch base with me. This is a good topic, and there's a lot of meat here in this particular lecture. So again, please reach out if you have any questions.